The Toronto Raptors are not the only NBA franchise looking for their next head coach, as the Milwaukee Bucks are also entering the search after recently firing head coach Mike Budenholzer. But the Bucks could be looking at the Raptors' assistant coaching staff in order to fill that head coaching vacancy. So, what would it mean for the Raptors to lose Adrian Griffin to the Milwaukee Bucks? Let's get into it. This is Amateur Hour TV. It's the second channel in the Amateur Hour Production Network, second to Amateur Hour Sports, my main channel specifically for Raptors content. But over here on the second channel, we go through additional Raptors content and a little bit of a different vibe to the main channel in this stream, less formal sort of format. So if you like what you see from today's video, make sure to hit that subscribe button for future content on the channel all throughout the offseason. But reports are now coming out that the Milwaukee Bucks are the most recent team to seek permission to interview Raptors assistant coach Adrian Griffin. It was made apparent yesterday or at least 2 days ago, by the time this comes out for a video to watch, that the Bucks would be looking to see what Adrian Griffin has to offer for the position. And Adrian Griffin, if you don't know, has been the Raptors assistant since Nick Nurse was hired on for the 2018-2019 season. He was considered to be a very important part of that Raptors championship puzzle as they won the NBA championship in 2019. And he's been a great assistant. I mean, from what we've seen from him, he's had to be acting head coach for some games. He was literally made the head coach for one game in the NBA bubble just to give him a little bit of experience there, and he was a winner there. But a long time assistant in the NBA, and many around the league feel as though Adrian Griffin is very much due a head coaching shot in the NBA. The possibility of him becoming the next Raptors head coach is certainly there. The Raptors have a head coaching vacancy. Adrian Griffin knows the team well, he knows the players well, and perhaps he can bring a more measured and more diplomatic and a little bit more of a calming presence to the Toronto Raptors group, something that Nick Nurse wasn't really providing in his last season for the team. But also seeing the great qualities, as I mentioned, is the Milwaukee Bucks. Adrian Griffin is a current assistant with the Toronto Raptors. There's going to be a fire sale of Raptors assistants. Apparently, the Raptors front office is really going to work on this team. We haven't had any confirmation on which Raptors assistants will not be returning. I get the sense that it seems like none of the assistants will be returning other than Adrian Griffin, who's been mostly assured of his position for next season. He'll obviously be looking for a promotion, and he has been desperately seeking this next step in his NBA coaching career as a head coach. Adrian Griffin played about, I think it was 9 seasons in the NBA as a player to a limited degree of success, but an okay degree of success, but entered the NBA coaching scene in 2008 with the Milwaukee Bucks. Yes, 2008. Adrian Griffin has been an assistant in this league since 2008 along the way. Like I said, he started out with the Milwaukee Bucks, but also went to the Chicago Bulls, worked with Tom Thibodeau there, got some good experiences. Also was an assistant with the Orlando Magic, as well as the Oklahoma City Thunder, worked there with Billy Donovan. So he has had a great amount of experience all around the league. All signs are pointing towards Adrian Griffin eventually becoming a head coach, but the 48-year-old might be getting a little bit desperate here. The Bucks could be his ticket to the promotion that he so desperately craves. So the Milwaukee Bucks could be looking to pry away the assistant from the Raptors, and hey, from a Raptors perspective, there's been the shot of him becoming the head coach here this summer. There's been plenty of other teams in previous seasons who have interviewed Adrian Griffin for the head coaching vacancy. I don't think Griff is going to hesitate at the opportunity to lead the Raptors if another team is going to offer him that head coaching job. I'd be interested to see what sort of decision-making process would come from Adrian Griffin if he were to get 2 offers, one from the Raptors, one from another team, if he'd be loyal to the Raptors, or what would be his loyalty towards. Maybe he'd go for the better financial offer. I mean, to be honest, if I'm coaching between the Bucks currently, a perennial contender, or the current Raptors with seemingly no direction, I think that answer is a little bit clear here. But hey, if the Raptors are a team that's not going to give him that head coaching opportunity, I would not be upset in any way whatsoever to see Griffin go to another team and finally get the coaching job that he deserves and the shot that he deserves in that position. As far as the Raptors, what they need to do from a head coaching perspective, like, look, if another team hires Adrian Griffin, I don't think it's the end of the world. There are plenty of very suitable candidates for the Raptors to hire. If you haven't seen my opinion as of yet on any of my channels, my favorite candidate is Jerry Stackhouse. One of my favorite candidates is also Patrick Mutombo. I'm also a bit of a fan of Becky Hammond as a possible head coach, but Adrian Griffin is also very high on my list. So it'd be kind of a bummer that we wouldn't be able to get to see, hey, would the Raptors have hired him if he didn't go to another team and he's just only done this interview with Milwaukee. But I wouldn't be too upset because at the end of the day, he is not my top candidate. From a betting odds perspective, from what I've seen from FanDuel, don't believe these are incredibly accurate. Adrian Griffin is the second most likely coach to become the next Raptors head coach. Becky Hammond actually was the odds-on favorite there. Once again, I don't put a ton of stock into those odds, but it's just interesting to see that Adrian Griffin, it seems like this summer is his best shot at finally landing that role, that dream role as a head coach in this league. The bigger question will be, is that going to be with the Toronto Raptors? Personally, I'd say I don't think it's going to happen, and I don't think a head coaching job is going to come for him at all. I just don't see the best fit there out of the teams with the head coaching vacancy, but man, I want Griffin to get that shot so bad. I mean, he's done so much great work for this team. He absolutely deserves it. You know, kind of going against my words because I'd rather go with Jerry Stackhouse for our team. So I don't know if it'd be our team. I'd be happy if it was our team. I'd be happier with somebody else like Stackhouse Mutombo, but I'd be happy if he was a coach of our team. But I'd also be extremely happy to see him get that shot somewhere else. And the Milwaukee Bucks are just doing a little bit of work here and seeing what he can bring to their team. If he doesn't go to the Bucks or the Raptors as a head coach, I imagine there'll be other teams sniffing around if a head coaching vacancy comes up once again because Adrian Griffin is near the top of the list of people due to get that shot in this league. So what do you guys make of Adrian Griffin? Do you want him to be the next Raptors head coach? Is he due? Is he really due that head coaching spot? As I've said, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below because that is it for me for today. Thanks so much for watching this video. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to Amateur TV for more Raptors content like this. Check the links around my head right now. My other channels in the Amateur Production Network. Amateur Sports, my main channel for Raptors content. Amateur Reactions, the best highlights from my Amateur Sports live streams. And Amateur Bets for educational sports betting content. I will see you again next time for another video on Amateur TV.